Oh, hello, my little roaches. Welcome to another episode of the Josh Potter Show. Why am I wearing a mask, you ask? Well, is it because I'm scared of the Omicrons? No. It's another reason I'll get to in just a moment. I want to let you know, though, January 23rd, I will be at West Nyack Levity Live. 30th of I screwed it up already. The 23rd, I'll be at the Milwaukee Improv. The 23rd of January. The 30th, I'll be at West Nyack Levity Live. The 2nd of February, Pittsburgh Improv, and the 3rd of February, that is going to be the Raleigh Improv. And those tickets are on sale now. The Patreon, as of this moment of this coming out, should be launched. If it's not launched on this day, it will be in the subsequent days coming up here this week. So get ready for the Patreon. And hopefully we'll have a link in the description since it will be out and active. Now, before I reveal why I have this on, I want to introduce my guest. Very good friend of the show. She submitted probably the most lovely queef that we've ever had on this program. And also she submitted artwork, and she was one of our presenters at the Roaches. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Molly Stewart. How are you? Yay. I always think people are going to clap, and there's never. I should just make a sound of that.
Clap for myself is kind of fucking weird.
Tell everyone where they can find you and what you want them to find of you.
You can find a lot of me. That depends on how much you want to find of me, to be honest.
Well, that was what I mean, people can do their own research, but there must be places you'd want them to start.
Yes, for sure. A good place to start is Instagram. I'm at this redhead is SFW. It's like my 14th.
Does that mean safe for work?
Yeah, safe for work. It's like my 14th Instagram.
Yeah, you keep getting launched off of there.
Yeah, and when I made this one, it's like my longest standing one to date, and putting my name on it, Molly Stewart, gets everything instantly flagged and deleted. So I had to get creative and create a new persona. I didn't actually reveal what my name was on Instagram on this particular account until I had it for like 6 months.
Well, I think I have a theory on that, and I will reveal it in a little bit. But first, I have to take this off because my glasses are fogged up. But the reason I have it on, and it's like, why does this have to happen to me the day we have Molly Stewart in studio? I have to look like Quasimodo today of all days.
That's
I have
a great
this
character.
Lump on my fucking neck. It's very prominent. It would have not gone unseen by you or the audience.
No, if you hadn't said anything, I wouldn't have even noticed.
That is not true. Look at this fucking thing. So I'm going to keep my bandana down here because it is gruesome, I feel, to look at. I don't know what it is.
Is it painful?
It hurts. So I know it's not a tumor. Okay. Right? It's my theory.
Okay.
And
so
I don't know what it
hurt.
is.
As a doctor, you know
That's
this?
what I read. Tumors don't hurt.
Did you read it on WebMD?
I didn't do that. I'm not that cliche. I did like Google tumors and like what they feel like and all this stuff. I did some research. Did my own research.
Yeah.
Trust the science. And so I don't think it's a tumor because it's painful. I hope it's just an ingrown hair. Could be a myriad of things.
Swollen lymph nodes,
that's cancer. That sounds like cancer. What you're saying?
No, you can have swollen lymph nodes from a lot of illness.
Do they get painful though? I feel like that happens, and you're like, oh, I have like a goiter or something. But this is like
I don't know. I've never had. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never had my chin swell up like that before, so I couldn't really tell you. I get back here sometimes when I've had strep throat.
You know, recently, and maybe there's someone in the audience, I know I'm going to have plenty of people who think they're dermatologists out there write in the comments what it is. Oh, I can't wait to see all the Josh has cancer comments. Yeah. Josh is dying. Get well soon. I can't wait to see all of those.
It could just be that you're giving birth to something that we don't even know what it is. It's 2022. Anything could happen.
I am hoping.
Like, what if something just climbs out of there?
I want an alien to just crawl out of my face here live on the broadcast. You said that you wanted a pet. Yeah, there you go. That would be so terrifying. Oh my God, it'd be so like little too. It'd be like, and you know it'd be gross.
Yeah, like one of the mogways after you feed it.
Oh my Lord, that would be terrifying. I hope it's that and not cancer though. I would rather an alien crawl out of my face than them go, you have 6 months. So maybe someone out there was an incident in the NHL recently where a woman who was going to school to be a dermatologist, I believe, she was sitting behind the opposing team's bench and one of the coaches had like a spot on his neck.
Yeah.
And she was like, that's stage 2 whatever. And she like posted it or said something, I don't know, got a hold of him somehow. And he went and got checked out and it saved his life.
Oh my God.
And the team paid her $10,000.
That's impressive. That's
As
crazy. How can you know that just by like looking at it from
She goes,
afar?
I would get that spot checked. I don't know if she called it. I don't know if she was like, that's stage 2.
But
That's
she's
what it ended
like,
up being.
it's something bad.
Yeah, she
Go
goes, that
to a
spot's
doctor.
bad. And somehow got word to him. Can you Google that real quick if you're not doing anything else back there for the second there, Kirsten? I want to see like how she got a hold of the team. It was the Canucks versus the Seattle Kraken, I believe. I know the Seattle Kraken were involved because she was a Seattle Kraken fan.
Oh.
And yeah, so
she was doing good for the other team. Oh my goodness.
Right? What kind of fan is she really at the end of the day?
Traitor.
Yeah, you say that guy was a great assistant coach, and now you're gonna have to deal with him
he's
for
here to
years.
stay.
Yeah,
so congratulations, you fucked up.
If someone saved Bill Belichick that way, I would be like, "What are you doing?
Stop it,
you motherfucker!" So it says, what does it say, Kirsten? Did you Canucks Kraken? And I said Karen.
Yeah.
Canucks versus Karens, the Seattle Karens.
There's no real thing.
There's no chance I'll be able to read it, but perhaps it says on there someplace.
It says here that a message on her phone was written in a large font that caught the attention of the assistant equipment manager.
She just typed it out on her phone.
Because she was sitting at the glass, you see. So she saw the spot, and then she wrote on her phone and just held it up. And then someone read it and was like, oh. And they told the guy, and he was like, imagine being that guy. If I was him in his spot where I'm the coach, and someone said that to me, after reading it in the glass, I go, all right. I would never...
Like, I wonder if he was having other problems
I would
preemptively to make him think, oh, shit, maybe it's cancer.
Yeah, because I would never think twice if some random person with... And she didn't look sane. I mean, she was cracking out. You know what I'm saying? She was like, Seattle jersey, hat, scarf. I'd be like, some loony fan on the glass is going to diagnose my cancer from my spot on my neck.
Yeah, it would be like if someone just commented that you had cancer right now. It'd be like believing that.
If someone knows what this is and is right, because I am going to have to get to the bottom of it, unless it just goes away.
What did they win?
I was going to say $1,000, but that's a lot for just being like, it's an ingrown hair, you psycho.
Yeah.
And then them being right. Because I'm pretty sure that's what it is. But, you
could just send them like $1 just on Venmo. Like, thank you.
That'd be cool. I'll send you $1.
Just one.
Maybe 10. How about that? 10. I want to get I want to get at least a correct.
A double digits.
Yeah, some sort of diagnosis. And people are going to be like, why don't you call Dr. Drew? Why don't you call Dr. Drew has a life, all right? And it's not taking care of everything that grows on my body. No, he's not mad at all. He's very curious.
I'm sure that he would love
he would definitely love it. And then I would have to hear from him all the time, be like, did you get that thing checked? And I'd be like, no.
Yeah, but then
I'm scared to go.
You could get so much content. Can you imagine? You could have him. He can examine
He's not
content.
going to do all that. I would. I mean, I did do that with my thing on my back.
Oh, I know.
That was the only reason. That was the only reason I even did anything with that was because I said I will do something for. I will go to the doctor. You have to like drug me to go to the doctor. It's so I have such, and I wish I wasn't that way. I'd love in my heart to be able to just like everyone else go to the doctor. I cannot bring myself to do it.
What is it?
I used to use finances as an excuse, and now that is no longer an excuse. And I'm sitting here going like, I don't trust anything about the process. It's like mechanics.
Okay, you don't trust mechanics at all?
Nope, and I don't trust doctors the same way. Across the board, like you have to earn my trust, and I feel like they're not in the business of doing that. Mm-hmm. They're like, well, this is the case.
Did you get was it one of those things that doctors run for, and then you had to do one of the prostate exam things, and now you're just like, oh, I can't
no, I'm not adverse to a prostate exam. I'd love.
You're like,
if
please,
a doctor made
put your
me
finger
come.
in my ass, but you have to force me to get here in the first place.
If a doctor made me come, I would go to that doctor twice a week. I would be at that doctor's. I'd thank him. He'd win like, what is it, a Pulitzer? No, that's for journalism. What is what do doctors win? Nobel Prize? He'd win a Nobel Prize.
Yeah.
Because he made me come so easily.
Well, that is the common quest, is it not?
Sure. So no, I mean medically maybe he can figure that out, or she. I don't know. I don't mean to gender the doctor, but they.
You're not being very inclusive.
Exactly. So all of them. I don't care who does it.
All of them.
At this point, just be my doctor. I don't trust the process of like, how do you pick one? You know, you grow up, your parents drag you to the doctor. You have that pediatrician until you're like, I don't know, 15 or whatever. And then you go to a new one for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And then you hit your 20s and you just go on the road and don't do any doctors.
Yeah. I feel like anyone that's in my age group who has like a primary care doctor. I'm like, who are you?
Yeah,
like,
where'd you find it? And
I'm 30 years old.
It's your
like
family doctor or whatever, you know?
Yeah, like maybe that you've had, since longer than you should. Like it's still your pediatric doctor. You're like, yeah, that's, Dr. so-and-so.
Like, I guess, and there's people that are like, do your research. It's like, how do you research like meeting a person and going like, I get along with this guy or whatever? Because there's no sense of compassion that I've ever felt from doctors. Some of them, yeah, they're fine. But I've had some shitty ones.
Yeah.
That's why I'm blind in this eye partially, because this one doctor fucked up. And he was such an asshole to me about him fucking up. Like it was my fault he fucked up.
Yeah, I'm sorry for existing. I'm sorry that you couldn't do your job that you're apparently trained for.
I'm like, how is it? It's like, well, you're just not taking the rehab seriously. I'm like, I'm doing all of the things. I want this more than you do.
Yeah, it's not your site, sir.
Yeah.
Like this is me. I'm dealing with this shit.
I'm being diligent, Yeah. Like it's just wild. So I don't know. I'll never go to a doctor willingly, and I don't know how to get over that yet. And people are like, grow up or whatever, but it's like a real thing. I'm asking for help. Is my point.
Yeah.
I got to figure out how to like just go into the doctors. And for now, it might even be you'll see this lump maybe next week. I don't know how long it's going to be on my face till I figure it out. Till I get to the bottom of it.
What would be like good incentive for you to go to the doctor?
It's just the idea of the news possibly being bad that scares me. I think that's part of it too.
So it's the fear of the
unknown. It's like you have to. And by the way, going to the doctor is seemingly no easy task. Like getting insurance, finding a doctor, getting an appointment, letting one let you in to their office.
Well, isn't it funny too that like you can only buy health insurance once a year, like in a certain time frame, and then if you buy
health insurance, but it doesn't like kick in until February.
Yeah, and it doesn't so you only have this set amount of time each year to buy health insurance. It's not like with a car, like a car, a home, you can buy insurance any time of year. But they're like, no, you have like 2 to 3 months to get this shit figured out, and you're stuck in it until the next time the shit comes around. It's like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, you can't just go to the Kaiser Permanente store and buy a policy. I want to be able to do that. Why isn't this easier?
No, and that's why I just don't deal with it. I don't deal with it now. I'm just like,
if
I get sick.
Are there more people like us that don't deal with it though?
I think so. And I think...
How many?
I don't know.
Because I don't know anybody.
There must be so many.
Everyone's walking around out there. I feel like they're all doing doctors.
Yeah.
And they all figured it out somewhere. Where was the lesson? Did I miss that class in school or something?
I don't know. My parents definitely didn't teach me about how to find a doctor, if I'm honest. Now, I don't get sick very often, but when I do, I maybe get like strep throat once a year. I just go to one of the little 24-hour clinics.
Cares.
Yeah, and I'm just like, oh, give me my antibiotics. I know this is what I need. Well, that's the thing.
Someone said, go to an urgent care. I went to one. The line is out the door from COVID stuff. So it's like I can just go there. I'm basically guaranteeing that I get Omicron by going there.
Yeah.
And I have a friend who works in urgent care. She was telling me nurses at urgent cares are just going to work with COVID because they have to.
What?
I don't know if that's true. This is like a hearsay thing, folks. So don't report me to YouTube or whatever. But this is what I was told from a person who works in fucking urgent care.
What's that? So you're not saying a person's name. You're not saying what.
Yeah, no, I'm saying so. Like, but that doesn't make me want to go to it. I have managed to not get Omicron, but I'm starting to go. It's a little suspect that I haven't gotten COVID yet. Have you gotten it yet?
Yeah, I actually had it last year.
You got it like when it was
November.
Hip. You were like in the.
It was one of like the first people to get.
I got like the original strain.
I think, funnily enough, I think I actually did. I think in January of 2020 or the end of January, early February. But around that time, I had just wrapped up the AVN convention and then also the Fit Expo here in Los Angeles.
And there are germs aplenty.
We call it the AVN flu every year because it's like you're going to a big convention center. And me, especially then as more predominantly like a cam girl, I'm in my room, in my house all the time. I don't go anywhere. And then all of a sudden you're at a convention with hundreds of, potentially thousands of people, and you just expect to get sick. But that was like the worst AVN flu that I ever had. And then stuff about COVID came out, so I was like, did I have that?
So yeah, I had just come off the road. I did Europe, and then I did the South, and then I did my own gigs, like all in 3 months before January of 2020, or I guess before February of 2020. And then when I came home, I was sick for 2 weeks like I've never been.
Yeah.
And I assumed at the time that was COVID, but I never tested my antibodies, so I don't know. But like I assumed, I go, oh, I must have had it then for sure. But everybody says that, so who the hell knows? But I have not gotten Omicron, and I'm beginning to think it's just because I'm a loser. You know what I mean? Like
I saw your tweet. Like,
yeah. I want to just get Omicron so people are like, oh, he was invited somewhere. Look at that.
I feel that is kind of strange.
Everybody's
had it. But I mean, one of those things about Omicron that I've heard, or even friends that I know have had it, is that a lot of the symptoms just seem like allergies, which is also very common this time of year as well. So it's like a lot of people probably had it and then they don't even know, they're giving it to other people, and
That's what I said to my buddy, because I was like, I wake up every day feeling like shit.
Yeah. What's the difference?
Now all these signs, I'm like, I guess I've had Omicron for 32 years.
You were the OG.
Yeah. I've had Omicron since I was born. That's the basis of this fucking symptoms. This doesn't even seem like a real thing. But you mentioned you primarily a cam girl, and I find we were talking about it before the show a little bit. Camming thing was always interesting to me, but I never indulged in it.
No.
Because I never got it. But it seems like now that through our conversation, and you've been a great friend since COVID and everything like that. It's our first time hanging out.
I'm so happy that I bought that cameo from you, because they're just like, we just chatted over the pandemic. It was nice.
Yeah, that was wonderful. And so it's been nice to get to know you and knowing what type of person you are, sweet girl. And so like when you do camming and stuff like that, I'd imagine it gets like intense. Because it's like doing Twitch, but it's sexual also.
It can be, but
it might not be too, right?
Camming is a whole different ballpark too. With like, so I don't even cam like for a cam site like I used to. I just do my subscription sites only now because I'm old and I don't have time for cam drama. So.
For those who don't know, by the way, there used to be just sites where girls would like stream and then guys had like coins or something.
They still do. I don't do it.
But it doesn't make sense anymore, I guess. Like, right? Like,
I feel like so many people have transitioned to more.
Why not just do
subscription based? Yeah. I mean, the camming will always be there. It's just like how people were saying that because OnlyFans is so popular, the porn industry is going to collapse. And it's like, no, it's not going away, because each different section of kind of the same field draws different people to it. It's just like having a preference for a performer or a streamer or a comedian versus someone else, because it's just different flavors,
Yeah, not only that, the companies will start just getting involved, and it's just like podcasting. Like everyone's like, podcasting is going to ruin media. It's like, well, media is just getting into podcasting now. Yeah. And we're going to ruin podcasting.
Media ruined itself already.
Yeah. I'm saying now they're going to just kill us. So, I mean, enjoy it while it lasts, because they're going to get their claws in here and it's going to become a conglomerate of its own. But the cam site, a benefit for a woman to do that, is it just because she can go on, perhaps she doesn't want people to know or maybe like sell her subscription-based things, so she can go on the cam site and almost be anonymous in her own right. Now, obviously she's camming, but like it's two people. It's like radio. Like when you listen to the radio, you turn it on and you're just popping in on something. Yeah. As opposed to a podcast that you deliberately click on to listen to.
For sure. So like I actually, started a podcast like everybody did. And to me, it felt and took me back to webcamming, but just with clothes on. Okay. So, that's kind of one of the big things with camming, I think, is that it's what your individual page and live stream is called. It's called a chat room. So then, you have everybody who's watching you able to interact based on the level of membership type they are, like everything from free to premium and stuff like that.
It's very much like Twitch, which is making me creeped out about myself a little bit, because like there have been guys on there who are like sending me, and I'm so appreciative of it. But then I'm like, is there something else going on here that I don't, you know what I mean? Like, because I'm sure there have been people who get like entitled when they spend that kind of money.
Yeah.
When it comes to camming.
Oh, you have no idea.
Yeah,
it gets intense.
Like, has it gotten insane?
Like, okay, so to give some level of intensity, I took a step back from camming by getting into shooting mainstream porn.
So camming is like so savage.
Like,
well, because the interaction is so personal.
Yeah, it is. And honestly, to do well and to grow a fan base and to grow a chat room worth, logging on every day for, you need to be on every day. Like the amount of time that I would cam sometimes 12 hours in a day. And, I've done 24-hour camathons where I cammed straight for 24 hours.
And what percentage of that is sexual in nature? Like,
that's the fun part. So it's
you're trying to do as little as possible.
Of course.
No, exactly. So it's a game in your own head. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not even a matter of necessarily like trying to do the least amount, but I mean sometimes, because I mean you're not you're not wanting to like shove dildos in yourself
Yeah,
every
you can't be
fucking
doing
day.
that for 18 hours. And plus that it doesn't, there's no build,
Yeah.
there's no...
And, you know, one of the things, too, is, like, because there's so much free pornography everywhere, it's like if you want to see someone shove something in their hole, then you can just go Google it, and you can find a bunch of holes with stuff put in
You can, folks.
So there's so many holes out there
you can
to
Google
choose
it.
from.
You can go check it out. You can find it.
So I think with camming and even, like, the subscription sites more and why they become more popular is that you get that personal interaction. But
So what's the worst one? That's scary. Are you like, I'm not allowed to talk about it because of legal reasons?
Nah, I don't give a fuck. This motherfucker's
okay.
been saying he's going to sue me for like 3 years. And
Yeah,
I've never listed his
ongoing.
name or anything yet.
It's ongoing.
Yeah, because, all right. So you have
Spill the tea.
you have people who, I mean, most, and this is why I don't, talk about this as much and say, oh, there's so much wrong with this, because there's not. Like, so many people are very respectful, or
Right.
even if they're not at first respectful, if you can speak to them on a level that everyone comprehends, they get it, and they pull back, they treat
No
you.
one thinks this is the majority of this
Yes,
person that
I
you're
just
about
wanted to clarify, because
Yeah.
I always get those people like, I know some of y'all are going to say that shit, and shut up.
And by the way, this is something what I think to do with your Facebook accounts is like, if this man, and I'm assuming this interaction with him goes awry to the point of he gets angry, I feel like the angry people, then they are the ones getting your Instagram.
Yeah. Well, they had
Fucked
enough
us.
time to sit on cam with me for a majority of their day every
Right.
day. So when they suddenly don't have that anymore, well, what do you do with all that free time?
They
Go find a girlfriend? No.
No,
You
they
start
direct
reporting.
it the other way. Yeah, they direct it towards their hatred towards you.
Yeah,
instead
and
of
it's
their
like-
love, which is crazier in itself.
Yeah, it is. And I don't know. It's so unfortunate that these situations happen, because especially with, I think, probably the worst stalker instance that I had, it could have been avoided, but I was also young and stupid and in a different relationship at the time that was very toxic and didn't provide me much liberty to even run my business the way that I wanted to, or I kind of ended up losing a lot of myself in camming, which is one of the reasons that I don't do it anymore.
Yeah, I can understand that. I mean, saying there's people that do this in other facets with streaming and things like that also lose themselves. So I can imagine that 100% can happen, and it must get daunting.
Yeah, it's exhausting. And one of the things is that it becomes, like, if you're not careful, it becomes not just a piece of you, it becomes everything about you.
Yeah.
And I can even go back and look at content of myself from that time, and there's just like, there's so much emptiness like behind my eyes. I'm just like, damn. Like, but
You're just
at
a
the
robot.
time,
You're performing.
yeah, and most of that time is such a blur to me, honestly, because most of it was spent, in my little cam box space.
Right.
And
I did shrooms on a Twitch stream one time, and it was
How
the
did that
worst
go?
idea because I felt like I was in a box.
oh yeah,
Like I was like, I'm in a cage on this stream.
I'm trapped.
I can't get out. And the trip was so hardcore because I felt like I was trapped the whole time. And I was on there just freaking out. Like I was like going through every you know what I'm saying? It was like a wild instance. But so I basically, the summation of what happened with that guy, and I see it with female comics too. Like stalkers are so strange to me, and it's so scary.
Yeah.
It's just a scary thing to have happen, even if it's like rational thought comes in where you're like, well, this person isn't actually capable of hurting me, probably wouldn't have the inclination to hurt me anyways, but it puts the fear in you, and there's no rational thought
No.
that can change the fear. It sucks.
Yeah. Well,
It's the worst.
It's one of the things, because so some of these people, they're more there for just the interaction and the conversation, and that's good, and that's like the people that I appreciate the most. It's not like, obviously I'm an attention whore, and I love the fact that people jerk off to me. So whatever, that's cool, but it's also nice to be respected at the same time, like
Yeah. Think I'm witty as well.
yeah, laugh while you're coming, god damn it. Like, but some people just, you can tell them everything to T. You can tell them, I'm not gonna sleep with you.
Right.
I'm not gonna date you. I'm not gonna
How
marry
many
you.
of
I'm
these
not
men,
gonna.
by the way, are Saudis? No, I'm just kidding.
That's just all the Instagram DMs, I think, is not so much on the campsite.
But they just don't get the message, is what
No,
you're
and
saying.
they don't get the message, and they keep saying that they understand, and so you think they understand as like a naive early 20s person. You're like, oh, of
Right.
course they get it.
No,
They
sure.
say that we're the complicated ones. Men are straightforward, but They're not, especially when money is involved, and that's something that I didn't really understand early on.
But yeah, I mean, there are. I mean, how many Saudi? Do you know anybody who's gone and fucked a prince? Because I guarantee, they love porn.
Yeah.
These Saudi princes. There must be instances, or at least offers, for millions of dollars if they find one they enjoy. If they find a starlet that they particularly like.
You know, I don't personally know anybody, but I have been offered millions and millions of dollars.
See, it happens. I knew it.
But
God,
I think anyone that Instagram DMs you
they probably
say that they have millions of dollars to spend on your pussy, I'm like, I don't think you do.
You got to look for that blue check mark. So it's like the Prince of Saudi Arabia or whatever, Prince Abdullah.
Yeah, well, it's just like all those verified accounts that always reach out to me about how they can promote my account and get it bigger and get me verified. And I'm like, you have less followers than I do.
It gets to the point where you're like, what's the check mark doing? You know?
Yeah, what is this for? Did you buy this? Like, I'm sure I could buy one.
That's how Twitter is. People definitely buy them. Journalists buy them on Twitter, like bloggers who are like, I'm a journalist now. And then they find things to like shit on, and then they tweet about it, and someone goes, oh, someone serious is shitting on this. Then you look, and it's like a person with 300 followers. But you said you went into the mainstream porn to get out of the camming. You found that more fulfilling or more just...
Well, one of the reasons that I went into it is because of a stalker situation that I was having with this person who didn't get it.
You went into mainstream porn
to escape that.
It's not like you went to the mall, and got a job at like Abercrombie or something. You know what I mean? Like
fuck that.
That's what I'm saying. So it didn't scare you completely out of the...
No, it wasn't even the job itself. I love I love being naked. I am so uncomfortable, like being in front of a camera with my clothes on. Like you have no idea. It's so weird for me. I was so
YouTube.
Nervous. My hands are sweating. I had a mental breakdown, like on my Snapchat to my fans, like before.
About this?
Yeah, I was like,
why?
What if I forget what words are? Like I just.
I mean, Kristen can do some blurs if it helps to take your shirt off. I mean, but I wanted to ask you because of pornography.
Yeah.
You've had various things inside of you, people.
Yes.
There's a list that came out of the dirtiest versus cleanest fruits and vegetables.
Okay.
And I have seen porn where they use. Now, are they real or are they prop vegetables? Is it like a Alec Baldwin situation? Is that a real cucumber?
Is it a real cucumber? So I have not personally used any food in scenes that I have shot, but I was a contract performer, so I haven't shot for a lot of like the fringe or smaller companies. I was contracted for MindGeek, so they are Brazzers, Mofos, Reality Kings, Digital Playground, Twisties, and I was all lesbian porn.
It's my fave.
However.
But that's where this comes into play.
However, I have made my own content.
Oh, right. Well, let's see. First, you tell me the vegetables or fruits that you might have used, and I'll tell you where they fall, as opposed to the other way around.
All right. So at least for me, I have done bananas. Now, not inside of me, but banana blowjobs.
Okay. Let's see. Where is banana? Banana doesn't show up on either.
That's insane to me. Because
is banana a fruit or a vegetable?
I think it's a fruit because it has seeds.
It is a fruit, yeah.
But something that's really fun to do with the banana is that you can slide it into your mouth very seductively, and you can suck it and use your teeth very nimbly in such a way to give it a tip and also veins and make the banana look like a penis.
Yeah, the banana melts.
It does. It does. So it becomes malleable by using your tongue.
I guess it's perfect for blowjob,
not for insertion. I would definitely not do that. However, I have had a glass banana dildo.
Well, that's okay. The shape of a banana. Why make it a banana and not just a penis, though? Like, why make the banana shape a dildo? You're making it. You know what I mean?
No, because there's a very slight curve to a banana, and it's also aesthetically pleasing.
That's true. You could put it like out in a bowl of fruit. You can make a bowl of dildos.
You're like, oh, it's this. Yeah, exactly.
A bowl of glass.
Yeah,
fruit.
like glass fruit, but it's
why
fruit
isn't banana on the list? I can't believe
know.
Of all the fucking things, banana's not on here. So it must be clean. It must fall somewhere in the middle.
Yes.
All right.
It's a non. Have
there been others?
Fruit. Yes, I have done not for insertion, but I have done like strawberries and whipped cream with many girls. Those are very, very fun.
They fall on the dirty list.
If
they're filthy. It's because of all the Mexicans picking. No, I'm just kidding. That's terrible.
Oh God. But if you cut out the top, the little green part of the strawberry, you can put them over your nipples like little nipple covers, and then you can have someone suck the strawberry.
Well, I'm just going to let you know you're risking E. coli each time.
Well, that's okay. I'm willing to risk it for the biscuit.
I guess the dirty vegetables you could do a lot of ass play with because of the fact that it's like, hey, it's all E. coli.
Yeah.
You know, if you're going to get it, you're going to get it.
For sure. I mean, I'm not a doctor, so I can't speak to that personally, but I mean...
Was strawberries the last one? Did you have other...
I mean...
Because like cucumber, I would assume...
No, cucumber I have done, but I can't sell that video anymore because most platforms now do not allow for videos with penetration other than things that are specifically intended for penetration.
Really?
Yes. So actually, I had some clips that were very popular that were panty stuffing videos, and that's essentially where you take a pair of panties, you rub them on your vagina, you kind of push them up inside of you a little bit, and you mail them to someone because y'all are nasty and like sniffing pussy. So, but
do you put them in a bag? Do you
yes.
seal them?
Yes,
okay, because then when they open that bag,
I have a drawer that is specifically for my panty production.
Take notes out there, folks. I get all kinds of DMs asking me how to start your panty business. This is it right here.
Here's how you do it. So I have it in my little drawer, and then I have the little box of those really tiny, like snack-sized Ziploc bags.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then the little envelopes, nondescript, nice little brown envelope, so nobody knows that you're being sent panties. I don't write panties on the outside of it.
It goes in an envelope.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're tiny.
So first, you have to...
I'm thinking all this like granny panties. I'm like, there's tons of fabric. How do you get it in the envelope?
No, most of my panties are
They're
very
like
non-existent.
Which is also, like, how do you sniff a string?
Well, I've had some men send me photos of them wearing them over their head like an eye patch.
Right.
And
but
I'm like,
wouldn't you
I don't
want
know
something
if
with a little
that
more textile volume? Like, wouldn't you
would
want
think
a
so,
cotton
but
something?
So some men who buy my underwear, like, they like to wear them.
Okay.
And they
on
like
their bodies,
and they
there.
like the fact that their dick hangs out of them.
Mm-hmm.
And they like it when I make fun of them.
That's the most fun to me.
I
don't know.
love it.
I don't know. I don't know
love
how you get off to
femdom
that, but it's so fun.
So much. I get off to the power.
I mean,
to be
I'm
honest.
sure. I mean, I think that's hilarious too, though. It's just like, say my dick's small. Say my dick's small. It's the best. That makes me laugh. I would laugh so hard. I could not get sexually
All right,
into
so
that.
yeah, the first time that
I am the opposite, by the way. When they go, your dick's big, I go, shut up.
just shut the fuck.
I go, now you're humiliating me because I know you're a liar.
Don't you lie to me.
Yeah.
No, but I think it's so fun. I love doing the femdom stuff because, you know, I've been shit on by like enough men and women, just people in general.
I thought you were saying in literal.
Not actually.
Oh, okay.
There's a little bit of German in me, but we don't go that far in my family. So
I thought you were about to tell us like, I've been shit on. It's not as fun as femdom.
No, I have actually been shit on, but by my dog, so it wasn't like a sex
yeah.
thing. It was just disgusting.
But what else do you like about it? You were saying.
No, So I'm generally like a very I try to be a very nice, quiet, like don't look at me person because I'm very shy unless I'm doing like a camera thing.
Mm-hmm.
So when I can just kind of let loose all of that rage that I bottle up inside of me and I take it out on men, like just wearing a strap on and telling them to get on their knees and suck my cock, I'm just like, I love this power.
That's fun.
And it turns me on.
No, yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
I get why people would enjoy that. It's the whole like, DM me what tiny dick I have.
Yes.
It's so fun.
Well, yeah, you definitely can understand. But see, your dick must not be small enough for you to have those urges.
I guess if you have a small dick, you gotta lean into it and be like, tell me it's so small. It's the smallest you've ever seen.
Yeah. I've had guys, and I have guys with very normal,
no, it's not.
Average
it's small
sized dicks, and they are like, tell me that I have a micro penis. And I'm like, you clearly must know that you don't have a micro penis, but you want me to tell you that?
It's a clit.
I will tell you that.
Tell me it looks like a clit.
Yeah. Tell me you would never fuck me. I'm like, all right, because I'm not gonna. I will never fuck you. You're a piece of shit. Like,
God, it just makes me laugh so hard that I can't possibly. But here are some of the. I'll list the clean things before we move on here. Corn, clean.
Corn is clean?
It's
no.
husks.
I have a corn dildo. Corn is not a clean vegetable.
It's in those husks.
No.
Yeah, you peel the husks off, or the husks protect it probably.
Oh, I guess I guess that's true.
Avocados.
Oh, I forgot. This isn't necessarily sexual dirty versus clean. This is actually just...
Oh, no, this is... You're right. This is for consumption, but I'm just wondering, we're putting them in our mouths.
That's true.
Putting them in your...
Okay.
I mean, like a corn.
So I would assume a lot of things that have rinds, like melons.
Yes, there's melons on this. This is the honeydew, one of the cleanest fruit. How's that for your eye sticker, huh? One of the cleanest. The cantaloupe. Cauliflower is one that's confusing. I guess because it also has a husk when you first buy it. It's got that green...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true. They grow up like
you
the little
don't
broccoli.
see them anymore.
Broccoli does too, doesn't it?
Broccoli is not on the list. I thought
broccoli
eggplant
is
though.
dirty.
Eggplant. But see, this is the thing. They're assuming, when you eat them, you take the skins and the husks off. When you put them inside you, no. But when you put them inside you, you don't necessarily like an eggplant, for instance.
Mm-hmm. You're not going to peel an eggplant before you shove it inside you. That
right.
Seems more unsanitary.
The corn you do peel.
Yes. Yeah.
Putting that inside you without peeling it would be gruesome. That is some...
I'm trying to think of
that
the
is some
mechanics of
Chainsaw
that.
Massacre type, Texas Chainsaw Massacre type shit. But yeah, there's sweet frozen peas, which I thought that's a great one for sex stuff.
Sweet frozen peas for sex stuff?
Frozen peas?
What would you do with that? Make the nipples
You just
hard
put them
and
in. I don't know. I had a girl one time who was like, fill me up with frozen grapes.
No,
Like we
shut
froze
the
up
fuck
grapes.
up.
So I put like 6 in her. And then it was kind of scary because then they started kind of getting melty. Because like they were frozen when I put them inside.
Yeah, but once that frozen fruit melts, it kind of gets that.
Well, then I had to get the grapes out. And there was one that I was like, oh my Lord. And I'm like scared. I'm like, am I going to like...
Is it going to turn to a wine in here?
Yeah, like I was like, is it going to burst? And then she just got grape juice in her pussy. Like, so I had to be very delicate getting it out. And I was like telling her, I'm like, are we going to have to go to the doctor if I can't get the... Like, what happened? She's like, we'll get it out. Just keep going.
That's because like
I'll get it out. She goes, I'll get it out if I have to.
Yes, people gotta be careful when they're putting stuff inside themselves, man. Like people get adventurous, and I just gotta say, like,
we washed them. I mean, I don't know.
no, I'm not even saying just that, like just in general, but I don't.
But frozen peas, I thought that would be the same as the grapes. I don't know what fun. I mean, for me, it was kind of
ice cubes inside myself before. So I can see
like
where that would be, but
same-
that is also a little better because you just make filtered ice cube, and then it's not like you're just putting tap water in.
For me, it was scary. It was like a task. It was like I was doing surgery or something. I was like putting them in, and then I'm like, oh my God, I have to get them out now. And I was like, okay, well, how many did I got? Did I lose count? Was there 6 or 7? It's like having a gun and a bullet. You're like,
because shit can get lost in there if
Yeah.
you're not careful. Like there's nooks
I don't know
and
my way
crannies
around
and-
there too well. I'm in there for the first time myself. I'm like feeling around.
Yeah, and I would assume, man, this is why sometimes I just wish I could know what it felt like to have a dick, because like
I wish
will
I knew
never
what it,
know
like-
what the inside of a vagina feels like from a dick standpoint. Only fingers, and I will never know.
I don't know that I wish I had a vagina. I was about to go, I kind of wish I had a vagina, but I don't think I would.
If I could trade off, like,
I'd rather have a
not,
dick.
if I could trade off not having a period and just have a dick for a week every month, I would be happy with that.
I'm sure many women would want that. Yeah, that
I would just
be...
play with it all day. Helicopter.
Exactly.
Fuck bitches, make money. Same shit I do now.
I'm so happy I have a dick. You're really making me, like, I am so thankful that I have a dick.
Yeah.
I really
like,
am.
It's awesome. And that's why also, like, having a dick seems so fucking easy. Like,
It is. It's the best.
And so that's why I never understand how some men, right?
It's putting it inside
It
another woman.
smells
You're
like
saying
you've
for
never
that.
fucking cleaned it. How?
No, well,
It's so easy. Like you could jerk off with soap.
I don't know who
right?
the men.
And
I don't know who the men you're dealing with.
past men, not current men.
No, I mean I don't know who these people were, what their lives were
Trash.
like, but it is in a spot that just collects. Like I don't know if your panties business, for instance. Like I don't know if these gentlemen are like go for a nice jog. And then, throw them in. It's the same kind of thing. So it depends on. And then if there are guys who don't take care of that, they're going to. And I'm not justifying that action. I mean, I play with my dick so much in the shower. It's I've said this before. My dick is the cleanest part of my body, probably.
Yeah.
It's
that's
you
why
would
I couldn't
rather
have a
me.
dick. I would just touch it all the time.
You would rather, if there's like a bowl of nuts and we were eating from it, you would rather me take the nuts out with my penis than with my fingers.
Do you think you could do that?
No, but I would. You would want me to, like an elephant or something. It's cleaner, is what I'm saying. Than
Well,
my
that would
fingers.
that would be the best party trick ever if you could just like take out your dick and like your little tip
Grab
could just
stuff?
like grab.
Or if like you could somehow make your foreskin, like if you had an uncircumcised dick, I think you could like just train your dick to like suck things into the foreskin.
Yeah, like just suck it back in.
Yeah, like I feel like maybe it's a change of temperature. Maybe you have to make a sound and yell at it or something and scare it.
Scare it.
I don't know. But I think it could be done. Give it a whirl out there, you uncircumcised
Try it.
gents.
Let us know how it goes. Like, if you guys can pick up stuff with your uncircumcised penis, please let us know. I want to hear about that.
Speaking of the circumcised and uncircumcised, now you've seen the gambit. You've run the gambit of penises. But is it alarming for a woman the first time they see a circumcised dick or an uncircumcised dick? Like your first dick. Say you saw an uncircumcised one. Is that one like, whoa? Oh, okay, I'm dealing with one of these. Or is it more frightening to see a circumcised dick? Like, what are you going expecting?
All right, so before I ever saw a dick in person, I saw both types of dicks on the internet. So it was like, but the more men that I was around, or the more men who have eventually sent me dick pics, like most of them end up being circumcised, especially like here in the States. But actually when I started like getting more popular in other areas and getting people from other countries, like circumcised or uncircumcised, it's
50-50.
pretty much like 50-50 at this point, because the fan base is kind of everywhere. And I think like I was curious about like circumcision and stuff like that, and I was like, fuck, that is so mean. You're just cutting off the tip of little boys' dicks for what? For why? It like can like make your dick shorter overall for like the length of your penis. It can
limit the growth of it.
It can limit the growth, exactly. It can give it less sensitivity, like all that type of shit. Like people are just missing out. Why do people keep chopping off baby dicks?
I am circumcised, and I feel like my parents did it because it was the medical standard.
I know, but
during
then
that
that's
time.
why I'm
But
wondering
now,
why that is.
but it's not. It's changing, because I
Okay.
know many of people, friends of mine who are my age or what have you, have had children and have chosen not to.
Good.
Because of the same, they feel like it's inhumane or what have you, whatever their reasons or principles behind it. So I'm curious. I want someone to do, like, it's got to be a porn star who's in it for the long haul. But eventually I feel like there will become less circumcised dicks than uncircumcised dicks.
Yeah,
Whereas
for
now
sure.
I feel like it's predominantly circumcised in the United States. Like if you were to take Americans' dicks through the ages of 25 to 54, that demographic, circumcised is probably, I'm going to throw a number out, 65%.
Yeah, like circumcised guys, even
White-
men that I've
white
had
men.
sex with, like, and it's just like most of them have been circumcised. Like I would say 90%.
So I'm wondering, like, my friend's kid is, I don't know how old he is, 5 or something. Let's say when he becomes 20, 18, 19, 20 years old, and he's starting to send his dick to porn stars, to get dick ratings or whatever. I want a person to start collecting data and be like, it was in the year 2038 when there was a shift.
All right, I got you.
You're going to do it? All right,
can
cool.
do it.
I'm so pleased.
All
This
right.
person saw
We're gonna start in 2022 because this is the year, man. We got.
Well, I mean, you have to go back. You have to think back to your previous data.
I do.
And then think of their ages and when they were born. So you'd be like, oh, this person was,
I'm
this
gonna
person's
start collecting
75.
data on people. I pretty much do anyway. Like that's like one of the welcome messages to my OnlyFans. Just tell me about yourself, and that's
that's
exactly
so
what
funny.
we do. So.
That's what they're and they have people.
And I'm collecting data. On
I don't
want to
ruin
Google.
I don't want to like reveal Dr. Oz, behind the curtain or whatever. But many, well, I'm not saying you do this, but many women on OnlyFans have a guy doing it or whatever, and they get data on you like they're China, so they know what to send you. Keep that in mind.
Why do you guys think, like, I always ask people, like, it's like one of the first things, what do you like? It's so that I can go through all the content I have and be like, here.
Yeah,
would
sell
you
my
like
backlog
this?
to you. Yeah, for sure. No, 100%. I have a person said they saw, this is called Weird TikTok Sex. I've got this email.
Weird.
By the way, the email is joshpottershow@gmail.com. It says, I saw this video on TikTok and thought you'd get a laugh from it. It's a woman reading a book out loud while she's having sex. Is it real or fake? Thoughts? In the video, I can't show it on fucking YouTube, obviously, but it's a woman who's like laying on a bed as if she was laying doggy style, and she has a book out and she's just reading it normally into a camera, and there's like the slapping sounds of her getting like fucked, and she's like making the motions, but she's not reacting in any way.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, so this guy's like, is she getting fucked or is she not getting, is she duping me?
Okay.
And I'm like, I don't know. I think she's duping you.
I think probably duping, because I think it's easier to just recreate a slap with a hand or something, as long as she
or
has
something.
an
Yeah, she
assistant.
might have a machine back there, or
Yeah,
a
for
guy
sure.
back there just being like, hit me with this paddle and I'll read.
Yeah. I don't know.
But it
and-
is like one of those things where you just go like, who's watching this?
Yeah. I don't know. I think there's a lot better on TikTok to watch, like pimple popper videos.
Not my bag.
No.
Although we might get a gnarly one. I turned my neck the wrong way today. We might get some insane pimple pop action. I could use the numbers for that kind of thing. But let's do a little sports action, shall we? I should turn on the music, huh?
Mm-hmm.
It happens every time. Every time I forget to return
Beep
the
beep
volume.
beep 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 beep.
You know the song?
Beep 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 dee 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 dee.
One day I'll get it right. But all the hullabaloo in sports, and I'm sure you don't follow.
Most of the sports that I hear about is actually listening to your show.
That's I only said that because you told me you don't.
Yeah.
But Antonio Brown is a wide receiver of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, or was he? He's still on the team, actually. And there was rumor that he was no longer a part of the team because he did this. And let's see him right here. That's him.
Has a meltdown.
Yeah, he has a meltdown here on the sideline. He just takes his...
Did
and everyone's
anything
calling it a
happen
meltdown.
preemptively?
I'll explain in a second, but this is what everyone saw. So everyone's watching this happen as it's happening, and then, of course, all of the psychologists take to Twitter to be like, he's lost his damn mind. Now, there was another instance of somebody doing this, but not so, like, the way, like, look at how he's doing it. He threw his pads off. He threw his jersey off.
He looks kind of pissed.
Yeah, he is pissed, and he's just like, well, no, he's actually like, I'm free. Like, there's a picture of him, like, when he gets to the end zone here, he starts, like, cheering to the fans. He's like, I'm free! And he, like, cheers, and everyone's like, he's lost his damn mind. And so this isn't the first time this has happened in the NFL. Back on the Bills in 2018, Vontae Davis did the same thing. At halftime, the team went to the locker room. He told a
He's
teammate,
stoked.
yeah, he's like cheering because they're cheering. They're the
Yeah.
opposing team, so they're happy. He quit. They're like, yeah, get the fuck out of here. And so there he goes off into the tunnel. And then later, you see him looking for. There's like people are on Twitter posting pictures. There's AB looking for an Uber. He quit the team, so he can't fly back to Tampa Bay with the team playing.
Yeah.
So he's in an Uber going to JFK, and this Uber driver took a video with him.
Go viral out here is nothing short but viral. Hey, Bizzle, talk to him, Cheech. Come on, baby.
Man, listen, this is gonna make my Netflix.
You know what time it is.
Oh, so
Go viral out here is nothing.
Did you catch that little thing he said at the end?
What
He
was
goes, this is going to make my Netflix series hot, I think is what he was about to say. So he's going to get a Netflix series. So you wonder what's going on here. Now, the backstory is that apparently they tried to put him in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, I'm hurt. I can't play. And they're like, no, you're not hurt. Play. And he was like, no, I am not going in there. So then they cut him.
Okay.
And that's when he stormed out.
Okay.
And now the team is like, he's still on the roster. So the team is like, no, he's no longer a Buccaneer, but they can't cut him if they were trying to make him play injured.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, if like he didn't feel like his body was ready. There was another, like I was explaining, Vontae Davis. He did it more like psychologically. Something happened in the game
Yeah.
where he goes like, this is a young man's game. It's not for me anymore. And he quit at halftime. Like he went into the
wow.
locker room and was like, I'm done. And they were like, what do you mean you're done for like this game or like this half or whatever? He's like, no, I'm done. And he put on his street clothes and left and like
Yeah.
drove home.
That's a little different.
And
than
he had
just
like a
storming
mental,
off.
well, yeah, but everybody at the time thought, they're like, what a lunatic. Like he, like the team wasn't that bad. It was kind of bad, but they were like, this guy just left at halftime. People are just quitting. Like, man, that's insane. They must have no control of that locker room. People go to jump to conclusions.
Yeah.
And what it turned out to be was he had something happen to him mentally where he was like, it's not for me anymore. And he got scared. He didn't want to get hurt.
Yeah.
So he quit in the spot. Whereas in this case, this is a litany of history with Antonio Brown as to why everyone thinks he's mentally ill, because he has a rap sheet, if you don't already know. Back in 2018, he was deactivated from the Steelers in a Week 17 game after reportedly throwing a ball at a teammate in practice. So he got pissed off, threw a
Wait,
ball
you're
at
not
his
supposed
teammate.
to throw balls at each
Yeah,
other?
right? Like, I thought that's all.
Maybe he just wasn't looking.
Yeah, right?
It wasn't intentional.
I would have been like, I was trying to warm up. In February of 2019, he meets with Steelers owner Art Rooney, and both sides agree to move on from each other. Then in 2019, he was traded by the Steelers to the Raiders for a 3rd and 5th round pick. Now, originally, he was traded to the Buffalo Bills. People forget this. He was traded to the Buffalo Bills, and the Buffalo Bills were like, we have Antonio Brown. This lasted for 9 hours. And then Antonio Brown was like, nah.
Oh, really?
He did not want to go to Buffalo. He's like, nah. He like tweeted it too. He's like, nah. Like it was like an official report, like Antonio Brown traded to the Buffalo Bills. And he was like, nope, not going. And so for 9 hours, Antonio Brown's on the Buffalo Bills. And then everyone made fun of the city of Buffalo, like, ha ha, no one wants to go to your stupid city, you fucking losers. Look who won in the end, huh? Fuck you, Antonio Brown. Anyway, he went to the Raiders. And while he was on the Raiders, there was a Hard Knocks series being taped at that time. So he was on TV. So everyone thought he was doing all this next stuff for the television cameras. But he was placed on a non-football injury list because he got frostbite on his feet from cryotherapy.
What?
And his feet look insane. Google Antonio Brown's feet. Yeah, like nuts. Like it looked like, it's like, what was your cryotherapy? Were you in the Arctic and you couldn't find shelter? Like why? What? How does this happen? His foot was so fucked up. Look at, he's got the frostbite on the bottom of it there. So that had happened.
Oh, is he like hiking with no shoes in winter? Good Lord.
Right. It's like that happened in cryotherapy, something else. I don't know. But anyways, so he missed Raiders training camp practices due to the other thing. Once his feet were fine, he showed up to training camp and he didn't like any of the helmets. He goes, I don't like these helmets.
He didn't like the helmets.
No. He goes, these helmets don't fit me right. Because players all have kind of, depending on their position, there are also different brands that you're allowed to wear. Rydell is one, and I can't think of the other one. But he was like, nope, don't like these helmets. And so he sat out all of camp because of helmet grievances. Finally, they found him a helmet. So then after they found him a helmet, he did an Instagram post. And he goes, I want to be cut by the Raiders in his Instagram post.
Because he didn't like the helmets?
I guess. I mean, there was a lot of things going on with the helmets, the feet. He just wasn't coming. And then he just went on Instagram and was like, I want him to cut me. And then they did. They were like, all right, bye. Okay. So then he signed a 1-year deal with none other than the fucking Patriots, of course. And I thought, here we fucking go. And so while he was there, he actually didn't do too bad with Tom Brady. I think he got hurt, so it was like, whatever. But in September 10th of 2019, former trainer Brittany Taylor accuses Brown of sexual assault, while Sports Illustrated article reported second incident of sexual misconduct. Then on the 20th of September of 2019, released by the Patriots. They don't fuck around with that shit. On the Patriots, they're like, oh, you have a sexual assault? We're not going to let that linger around on our team.
They're like, no, thank you.
They have no distractions. If you got a parking ticket, Belichick would be like, get the fuck out of my locker room. I'm not letting you get in the way. So then, after that, January 22nd of 2020, this is when it got crazy. He was charged with felony burglary and battery and 2 misdemeanors for an incident with a moving truck company. He pleaded no contest and did not receive jail time. So everyone's like, AB has lost his mind at this point. They think he's crazy. He's not on any teams. Mental illness, yeah, it seems like mania and shit, right? Or something, I don't know. But something crazy, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm not trying to diagnose the man like everyone else is out there. But then he gets suspended 8 games for multiple violations of the NFL's personal conduct policy because of those arrests. The NFL just throws that in now. And he wasn't even on a team. So it's like next time you sign with a team, 8 games you miss. So he signed a 1-year contract then with the Buccaneers when Tom Brady went there because Tom Brady's like, I can rehabilitate him. He's a great talent. I'm going to let him live in my house. I can fix him. Yeah,
I can Mr. Miyagi.
We're going to both kiss my children on the lips. So he goes there to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, catches 5 passes, including a TD, as the Buccaneers win Super Bowl 55. So he has that, another Super Bowl in his. He then re-signs with the Buccaneers, suspended for 3 games for violating the NFL COVID protocols this year, because the league found that he was among 3 players who misrepresented their vaccine statuses.
Okay.
He made a fake vaccine card. And his chef outed him because he owed his chef $10,000.
All right, so maybe he's not mentally ill, right? Hear me out. Maybe. Got that little clip about his Netflix series. Maybe this has just been a long game plan for years to create his own story and
You
weird
took
ass
the
journey.
words right out of my mouth.
Really?
Yes, this is where I'm leading up
We
to
did
with
not
all of this,
collaborate on
because
this beforehand.
if they have been filming this whole time, they're going to have a hell of a show.
Oh yeah.
Everyone's going to want to watch it.
Like, can you imagine, especially like that you're gonna be filming this, like that's your whole plan to
And
do,
boom,
and then
the
you
finale-
just go fucking crazy.
The finale is right there. We
Yeah.
just watched it
And
walking off
he's
the field at
like,
MetLife
"Ooh,
Stadium.
Netflix gave me so much money.
Yeah, and he's saying he's free and everything. And if
Yeah.
if Netflix did give him money to have like a reality show, hey, he's really got the long game figured out here, because everyone's going to be checking that shit out.
Yeah, no kidding. Like
He
he did a
is-
bunch of his great own self promotion.
He is no
Idiot woman!
He is not one at all. He's a very smart.
The inner city blacks.
What else did we have in sports? Oh, yes, I wanted to show everyone shitting on Buffalo Bills, by the way, in our old stadium and things like that. We're going to get a new one soon, and it will be in Buffalo. But our stadium isn't as shitty as some of the other stadiums out there. May I present where the Washington football team plays, FedEx Field? Let's watch what happens to Jalen Hurts here as Eagles fans, just trying to get a high five from Jalen Hurts here. Let's see what happens here. There he is walking off the field. So everyone's collecting in the corner. They want to go high five him as he's entering the tunnel, after he just won a game. This is the away crowd, by the way. So they're like, Jalen, what's up, Jalen? Ah! And now everybody, by the way, all the sports people out there, they're like, Jalen Hurts could have gotten really injured there. I'm like, Jalen Hurts could have gotten injured. Do you see the crowd of people? They just Astroworlded onto the ground there, and everyone's like, is Jalen Hurts okay?
He looks fucking fine.
Everyone's like, is Jalen Hurts okay? No one cares.
fuck.
There's how many people are at the bottom there
That is
getting Astroworlded
amazing.
right now?
Holy crap.
Watch it. Let's watch it again one more
Yeah.
time, just from the, yeah, here we go.
I love watching things fall.
It's scary. It's like, Jalen, oh!
It's horrible to laugh at that.
No, I thought it was hilarious that they didn't care about any of the people.
I know, they were just like, fuck all
Look at all the
those
people.
other people. These
That guy is so
peasants.
psyched that he got down on the field. If I fell from there and I was down there, I'd be like, I'm getting a selfie. I don't fucking care what you say. I just almost killed myself
He's
falling
like,
down
hey, no, me, over here, me in the green hat.
there. Yeah, so Jalen Hurts and Travis Scott got a little something in common.
Oh, man.
There's there's
Scott.
also another video that I sent to Kirsten, because in Buffalo a couple of weeks back, we had a real Yanny Laurel situation, a real blue dress, gold dress sort of thing. You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. People were hearing one thing, people were hearing another, and it was posted online with a caption saying one or the other. I want you to watch it,
Okay.
and you just to watch it naturally. Not this video, obviously, the Stephon Diggs one.
He looks real sad right now.
Oh, that was
Brady.
Tom Brady talking
Yeah.
about. I was watching that before. He was wildly compassionate towards Antonio Brown, and I was thinking in my head, what a mature, because it just had happened, and he doesn't even know the context of it. He was on the
Yeah.
field. He was maybe on the other part of the sideline. A football team is a business. There are
Yeah, for
53
sure.
men there, and so you're not talking to everybody. You don't know everything that's going on. And he had a real compassionate response to it. And actually, I'm like, do I like Tom Brady all of a sudden? I think I do. So Stephon Diggs scores a touchdown against the Patriots and runs to the fans of the Patriots and yells something. And it's
Okay.
picked up by, they have giant boom mics that they aim, and they pick up wild shit at times. And that's always my favorite things to find and capture. And so
I love it.
people in Buffalo wrote like, Stephon Diggs said this when I clearly heard something else. And other people, it became an argument on Twitter.
Okay.
And people heard various things. So let's hear what you think he says.
Allen delivers, touchdown! Stephon Diggs! Allen
Is he saying you suck?
delivers,
Play it again. Keep it going.
Stephon Diggs!
So the confusion, what do you think you said first?
It's not like you suck, you fucking suck.
So what the confusion is between it's people think he's saying fuck you versus suck my fucking dick. He says you suck my fucking dick. That's what I hear.
Okay.
What other people hear is you fuck you. I think that was the other
My
one,
headphones
right?
are also a little low right now.
I'm sorry.
So
Okay.
I might
It
not-
is, and it's
I might
also
not be
low
hearing.
quality, so
Yeah.
that's why there is the
Allen delivers,
God, yeah.
Because and then the confusion is someone says "fuck you" to Stefan Diggs. One of the fans says
see,
"fuck
that's why
you."
I think I thought he was saying "fuck you, fuck you, fuck you."
Right? No, he goes you suck my fucking dick,
Yeah.
which I love.
I heard "suck my fucking dick," especially when I squished these onto my ears.
When I posted this onto Instagram,
That's baller.
Stefan Diggs untagged himself. I noticed it because I was like, didn't I tag Stefan Diggs? And it was like untagged. He didn't block me.
Yeah.
He knows what he did.
Yeah.
But
I think that's accurate. But I
so
like that.
fucking fun. I loved it.
I love
was
telling
like,
people
yeah.
to suck my dick, and I don't even have one.
I'm so glad we have him and not fucking Antonio Brown right now. You fucking people who made fun of me for those 9 hours. Now, here's an interesting email. Before we get into the news, I wanted to bring this up. The largest vagina. That is from Logan from North Carolina. He goes, thought you'd enjoy this one, bud. The world record holder for the largest vagina is in history. 19 inches in circumference. If only she had recorded a queef. I don't think it would have made an audible sound. It would have been like a
This is like
a
they're
cave
measuring
of
like
wind. That's what I'm
the
curious
inside
about.
of the.
That's what I wanted to
like
know.
the
You have one, so I was like,
Yeah.
what are we talking about here?
I would never measure my vagina in a circumference.
Does that mean like
Is that like okay?
the
Wait.
hole?
Like if you were to like grab your hands and like they do in some of those.
Yeah, are we
and you
talking
spread
like,
it? Like
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Are we talking like from the top of the lip area and the area
yeah,
of
are
the
we
lip,
talking
or
about
are we
like
talking
the
whole?
slit, the lip to lip, the inside, the like how is this measured?
Because the other way would be the 19-inch circumference would be the hole, which would mean your dick would have to be 19 inches in girth to like touch them walls.
Yeah.
Which is,
But then also
you
it's
could
like-
basically put your head into her.
I think perhaps at that point, if
Can
we're
we
talking
Google it?
about spreading open,
We won't show it, but maybe if we Google it, we'll see it
I mean,
and we'll know.
you can train yourself to basically spread your pussy lips far apart and it kind of goes back together. But like that seems
Well, so can
huge.
your actual cavity, right? Because you have babies come out of it and then it goes, somewhat back to normal.
What am I
you just
Googling?
gotta do
World record for largest vagina.
I need to see
and
this.
see if
I
there's
hope
like
there's
maybe. I
pictures.
mean, it should be in a medical journal, right? I mean, this is insane.
biggest vagina in the world.
I mean, that's
Those are
not-
flowers.
That's not
so.
it. I mean, they had to put some stock images up. See what the images bring up here. I mean, I don't think we're going to see anything. You must have something protected because this, I feel like, should be more pornographic in nature. Well, I guess we'll have to do some research. He didn't
Wait,
send me a
that big
picture.
inflatable vagina. That's cool.
You want to get a raft?
That's awesome. I
That is fun.
went to a sex expo in Australia once. And they,
I'm gonna isolate that, by the way. Suck my fucking
Suck
dick.
my
I love that shit. That's so fucking funny. And if you think you didn't, if people are like, you didn't say that. He didn't say. Yes, he did. Stop.
I think
it.
you said that. I heard it.
Well, let's get into the news. Even though we've, I love that we're going into bonus time.
Bonus time.
I love bonus time. Let me find my soundboard here after I just pulled up that. I was trying to Google largest vagina at the same time, unfortunately. So we are getting into the news. Yes?
Ba-dum, bum, ba-ba-dum, bum, 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 ba-da-dum.
Oh, and here, how many orgies have you done?
How many orgies?
Yeah. Or is it like one of those questions where I'm like, all right, it's a
well,
lot.
I guess that would depend on what constitutes an orgy.
More than 3.
More than 3. 3.
Okay. So not that many. Interesting. I thought it was like
Well,
kind of like,
okay.
it's probably
For-
tough to
I
coordinate,
guess-
right?
All right. If we're talking men and women,
Yeah, well,
3.
duh, that's what an
But
orgy
if we're
is.
talking bunches of only women, then much more than
Yeah,
3.
that's fine. That's
Yeah.
an orgy. Oh,
I
the-
just did.
It's the persons is the matter.
Yeah.
It's not the gender that matters.
I don't know. I would say about like maybe 7.
It's interesting that you would think without a woman or with only women, it doesn't count as an orgy.
I don't know. Some listenership who may be of the male persuasion, I don't know. They seem to think that having sex with a woman and a woman, like if there isn't a penis involved, it's not real sex, and I don't believe that. But
So
there's a lot of guys
so
that
only
say like the
gay-
orgies don't count unless there's a dick involved.
That's stupid. They're fucking dumb.
Yeah, it is
They're
because
so fucking dumb.
what's cool about lesbian orgies is that you can have many different variety of dicks in many different colors
No, that
and
is cool.
shapes and yeah.
No, they're
everybody
very,
can have a dick. And a
lesbian
vagina.
orgies are very cool.
They're very
I'm
cool.
very pro lesbian orgy.
I did a
on this
lesbian
show.
orgy for my 30th birthday party and it was very fun.
Look at that on your 30th birthday party.
Yep.
Well, this orgy was ruined by people going to the wrong house, unfortunately.
Mm.
What's the most people? You said 7? Because this one,
Oh no, just 7 orgies total.
No, I mean, what's the most at one time?
Ooh,
Human beings in one.
Well, that would depend. So I did. I went to a sex club in Seattle. I used to live up there, and I think. I mean, I didn't do stuff with everybody there, but just the people in the room. There was about 10 to 15 involved, and then like 5 people watching.
Huh. See, now that is where I go. Like, I don't know if I mean, obviously it's an orgy if you're fucking multiple people. But the ones watching and stuff like that, I go, that's more something else. You know, like if there were just 2 people having like public sex, like there's that, you know, the scenes where it's like they're in a club and there's like people dancing around watching them fucking like public.
Yeah. Well, it's one of the things like.
That's not an orgy.
No.
In my opinion. You have to fuck the people.
But yeah, but they're not involved. They're just there.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So like I'm saying like, I guess how many at once physically did you have sex with? At one time.
I would say 5 because it was like 3 girls and 2 guys.
Okay. This one has 70.
Huh. What?
There was an illegal orgy between 70 people that was occurring, and it was broken up by police because 2 assistants, or I guess, I don't know why they're called assistants. Maybe they were filming it or something. They went to the wrong house. So they went to the wrong house, and that's how it got discovered. This happened over in Spain. The Spanish police discovered and broke into an illegal orgy with more than 70 people after 2 assistants tried to enter the neighboring house after confusing the location. According to the authorities, the homeowners reported that 2 people had tried to enter their property. This led to them searching the neighborhood and discovering the illegal orgy. Well, yeah, when a guy comes to your door and they're like, ding dong, I'm here for the orgy, it's like...
You're just like, what?
It's like fucking, what's that fucking movie? Old School?
Oh my God,
I'm here for the orgy, and you're like, what the fuck?
What the fuck?
Then you think it's your wife. You're like, are you doing something?
Yeah, what forums are you on online?
Yeah, you're gonna ask a lot of questions. Good thing you found this orgy. Apparently, most of the people who were in the place, located in Barcelona, they were men of American origin who hired sex workers to fire the year off. The police intervened the place because it exceeded the capacity limit imposed by the authorities. So of
they
Catalonia.
weren't upset about the orgy, just the fact that it was like, too many people.
There's a fire hazard. We're gonna need you to disperse immediately. At the moment, the authorities are investigating what happened in the house where the illegal orgy was practiced to impose the sanctions that are deemed pertinent. So it's like, yeah, it's an illegal gathering of people. They're like, you have a permit to have this many people here at this small of a place? And they were like, no. I'm like, okay, yeah, you got to leave. Even if they were having like a concert, they would have. It's like they were.
You don't have to stop fucking, but you can't fuck here.
Meanwhile, yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, it sounds like it was like some sex trafficking operation. Yeah. And they're like, nope, take these ladies in the barrels and get out of here. You pack those Asians back in those barrels and you hit the bricks. There's too many people in here.
Too many.
Too many people.
Fuck.
Elsewhere in the news, we have a guy who was at the Capitol riots. I thought this was fun because I love these people, these Capitol rioters. They're funny. And they're all like, I'm sorry, I didn't know what they're all like, I don't know what I did. And there's like, there's this like dipshit from my school bus back in the day who was such a dipshit, like that dipshit kid, you know, like just like fucking Dennis the Menace kind of like asshole, snarky kid. And he was at the Capitol riot and I was like, yeah. Sucker. Yeah. Oh my God, this is about him.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh my God, that's so fucking... I read the articles. This is so funny, but I just saw the guy's name at the top, and this is about that guy.
Shut the fuck up.
Holy shit, because it's at the top, and it's not... Oh my God, I just looked down, I'm like, there's his fucking name. I guess I can read it. I don't want people to know where I went to fucking school. I guess his name's Thomas Civic. It's according to this. The attorney for him filed a motion on Saturday asking the U.S. District Judge Amy B. Jackson to modify her release conditions for him, who is currently on home incarceration in his parents' residence, Buffalo, New York. That's my old neighborhood, if he still lives there. So get what he's asking, by the way. So he's one of the multiple rioters now under an indictment for the brutal assault on D.C., blah, blah, blah. So he's indicted actually for assaulting the police officer, Michael the Fanone, the actual guy. So he was one of the guys beating him. I rode the school bus with this dipshit. So he was arrested. He obviously went to jail. So this is what he's trying to get, like, in his orders here. This is the order he filed with the judge. As part of her order, Jackson forbade Sibik from social media and from political television programming that could inflame his thoughts. So that's part of his sentencing. So he's trying to get it fixed so that it doesn't include dating apps.
Who the fuck is going to date this guy?
People love jailbirds.
Red flag alert.
People
Don't
love
do
guys
it.
in jail,
It's
though.
bad.
People love guys in jail, though.
Yeah, they do. But those people come with their own set of red flags, too.
See, okay, so it says here they asked to modify those release conditions to allow Sibik to attend the wake of a friend. Okay, that's fine. Who had passed away or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And interact with members of the opposite gender for the purpose of establishing a friendship. That's what they put in the order. So
For the purpose of establishing a friendship.
he is not seeking to use any social media application for any prohibited purpose, such as for political engagement, news reading, or any other activity. God forbid he read the news. Those, what is it? This is
So
so
he's
weird.
like-
or any other activity that would violate not only the letter but the spirit of his release conditions. Because they're trying. This is like when he gets out of jail, he's not allowed to go on Facebook and like be like, "You see this article?" He's like, they're actually not allowing people to be that anymore, which I think is so strange.
Yeah.
You know, I wish they'd get a hold of a few of my family members.
So basically, he's like, I need to be allowed on dating apps because
So, yes.
I need to have a friend with benefits.
So this woman goes, or this, I don't know if it's a woman, but it's his lawyer. He says, Sibik acknowledges that he would be unable to leave his home for the purpose of going to dinner or other events. He does, however, feel the need to establish some sort of connection with someone, if possible, in light of his situation. Imagine he's just a lonely... I'm out of jail, by the way, and I can't establish a fucking relationship with anybody out here, so I don't know how you're going to be able to do it on this thing, Tom.
He just needs to subscribe to OnlyFans.
Yeah, just get a porn addiction and stop
Just
giving a
grow
shit.
up and get a fucking porn addiction like the rest of us, all
Dole
right?
out a couple of $5.99 and you get a 20-minute video or whatever, and you'll be all set, all right? By the way, I was asking some inner workings of OnlyFans to Molly earlier, and I thought at first she said that OnlyFans takes 80%, and I almost came in here on a crusade demanding that we tear OnlyFans to the ground. But that's not, I misheard what she had said. So this next story is my worst fear / most common daydream coming true and happening.
Okay.
Just so you know, a man died after he was pushed into an oncoming train in an unprovoked attack on New Year's Day in San Diego. It's so eerie because I've been to this train station a bazillion times. You've been there too, right, Kirsten? You've been to this thing? The old town station?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I've never actually been on the train.
Yeah, I take the train there all the time to this station. It's beautiful. You go along the beach.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's great. And you know, when I take the subway, oftentimes I'm standing there waiting more than a train. A train, I feel like I get there, the train is there, I get on. I don't really see the trains coming in and out, you know? But when I go on a subway, you wait for the subway to come.
Yeah.
I have sat there staring at the subway coming at me and just going like, what if I just was like, huh? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's like Niagara Falls. I was talking about Niagara Falls a couple of weeks back. People look at it and they feel the urge to jump into it. It's the same thing with a train. I feel this like, I want to just jump in front of it.
Yeah. I feel like our brain just kind of does that sometimes. Like, it's not even like, oh, I want to kill myself. It's just like, I wonder what would happen if I did this.
But it's
like, and it's like,
also-
you know what would happen. You would fucking die.
And by the way, I've thought about like, what if I just shove this lady in? Like, I've done that too. I've gone like, I could just, like, that lady's awful close. I could just be like, huh. But here's the other thing. Again,
Like
I said,
bicyclists, that's how I feel. I'm just like, I could just
push them off. Yeah,
Sorry.
that's funny. Just open your car door and you see
It's
one.
like, oh, sorry.
But also, I said it's my worst fear because there are times I see like a scare, like it's late at night and there's like a scare guy in the subway, and I'm like always like, where's that guy? Making sure he's not like around to shove me in front of the train. You know?
Like there's someone waiting around to shove you in.
I mean, I don't know why I don't even know why I printed the article when I just wanted to talk about train hitting people. Wait, because no, there was something.
Have you seen that guy on TikTok that was like super happy about going to the train station? The British guy.
No. Oh well, yes, I've seen people. There are train heads out there.
Like he was so stoked. I thought he was high.
There are, and this I want to do a correlation of pedophiles and train heads and see how they correlate, because I feel like there's something going on there. Or they're just the purest people there ever were.
I honestly think pure.
It's one way or the other. in my opinion.
But there also could be overlap. You could have the ones that are purists, and then you have the pedos
Well, that's
giving
what I
the
mean.
rest of them a bad
That's what I'm
image.
saying.
You
It's
know?
not one way or another. It's they are one way or another. Meaning, like either they're the purest person ever, or they're the darkest person you've ever never met.
I don't know. I just kind of feel like, as an adult, to be like making, especially the people who like really make the train, like things like in their basement and shit.
Yes, the sets. Model
That's a
train
lot.
sets. Yes, no, and I've and there are a lot of people still doing those things. There aren't many people doing ships in a bottle these days.
Ships in a bottle.
Remember those were like a thing,
Yeah.
and people were doing ships in a bottle. You build it and you put it in the and then you pull it out. It's like it was like a major. I don't know what year that became, but hey, if you're doing trains, maybe there's a ship in a bottle community out there that I don't know about. I don't even know again why I printed that article. Basically, he got hit by the train. He's dead. I wanted to bring up the fact that I just oftentimes
He's
have
like, I just
stared at
want to
that.
let you guys know that I want to throw myself in front of you.
Yeah, I'm just letting you know. If I don't figure out what's going on with my face here, I'm going to go throw myself. No, but there was a story, and I did want to bring this up because people started submitting coolest suicide stories to me, and I don't want that to be a thing on the show.
Or do you?
No, I mean, like, I just, where was that story? Because I was going to actually skip it, but oh no. So, like, here's the thing, folks. Yeah, I've had thoughts. I've made it is my bread and butter to make self-deprecating jokes, and, I bring the fact that I have had those thoughts in the past to light so that we can laugh at them, and I make jokes about, like, how I fantasized about doing it this way or that way. Please do not commit suicide if you're feeling suicidal. Like,
Yeah.
please talk to anybody. I've donated to many suicide prevention charities and lines and things like that, and I'm very pro prevention of all these things. But like I said, I bring these things to light because
Well, I think it's
need to
better
make jokes
to
about things.
I think it's better to have a sense of humor about something and to be like, yes, I understand that I was in a bad place at that time, so I'm going to make light of it now. So it's
Right.
not something that I keep dwelling on. And
P Paint, the man who sent this in, he also gets that fact. He says, although I am a healthy male about Josh's age, I have my suicide plan in case suddenly develop a terminal illness. Well, that's an interesting sort of way to go
he's
about
like
it.
super prepared.
So he's just like, if they're like, you got 2 days to live, he's just like what I just said about the train thing. He goes, I will first go to Vegas to party for a day or two, then go to something like roulette and wildly bet all of my money. If I hit big early, I'll give it to my family. If not, I will take just enough to take an Uber or bus to Arizona's Horseshoe Bend. It's a famous landmark. You can look up. It's an amazing picture.
It's beautiful.
I've never seen it before. Can we see a picture there, Kirsten, while I read the rest of this? I will then take a running start and jump off the looking point to plunge to my death 1,000 feet below an amazing American landmark.
Wow. That's a good plan. I like your plan, my dude.
Arizona's Horseshoe Bend. Let's see it. Ooh.
It's gorgeous.
And it is very just like Niagara Falls. Like I would, because the whole reason this came up was because I thought, and the people who were investigating the accident thought this woman who drove into Niagara Falls did it on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
She drove into the Niagara River much further up the river, and the car was swept down. She died well before it got to the falls, and then they took her body out, and then they were like, what do we do with this car? And eventually it went over the falls.
Yeah.
And now, I don't know. I want to see. I haven't seen anything. Like, is it in the rocks? Is there just a car down there forever? Are you going to be at the Cave of the Winds being
It's like a
"There's
shipwreck, but
there's
it's
a
like
fucking Toyota here sitting over here. So I don't know.
It still runs after all this time.
It's wild. It's just like sitting there, hanging there while there's like people on the Maid of the Mist are like, is that a Honda in the falls? So I don't know, but I would do if I were going to do Niagara Falls, I would make sure it was like the touristiest time of the day.
Ruin everyone's fucking day.
Oh, I'd
Hell
go over like
yeah.
a sign. I'd have like a so long suckers or just like
no,
something
you have to
like,
you have to have a sign that says this is your fault.
Oh my
and
god.
then anyone would
No, I wouldn't make it dark because they would think like, oh, this is something. Like, what's going on? This is some part of the day. Oh my goodness.
just-
and then all of
okay.
a sudden they're like, oh. You know what I mean? Because it would be like, I love you or whatever. It'd be like I'd be in a giant boat like, ma na 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 na. There's like fireworks and shit. And I'm like, hi everyone. Hi. And they're all like, hey.
and then he's just
Hey. And then they just go, hey, wait. What the fuck? Oh my god, no. I've also fantasized about like, I'd love but pulling this off would be, you'd have to be like Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible or something.
okay.
Like I would want to jump out of a plane, no parachute, and just cannonball through my worst enemy's house. because you know that's going to make a huge mess somehow. Like you are going to, and you might go through 2 floors.
And I don't know if insurance covers bodies falling from the sky.
I don't think so.
So
it would be really
fucked.
hard to like.
They would have to rebuild all on their own.
I mean, the accuracy that you have
to be
pull
someone
off.
that you really hate.
God,
though.
and if you fucking hit the neighbor's house to that guy, he's got the last laugh. Then you're really fucked.
Yeah, you need to be super precise.
And finally, here in the news, we have an interesting story from. This is from Reading, Pennsylvania. This one was a Roach reporter, I do believe. I can look it up here, but because they were like, wild shit always happening in Reading, Pennsylvania. And I'm like, is it though? Reading, Pennsylvania seems like a sleepy town. You know what it reminds me of?
Heard of it.
The Railroad from fucking... What's that game? Monopoly.
Oh.
The Railroad.
Monopoly. Oh, man.
Nope, it wasn't a Roach reporter. I thought it was. I don't know why. But anyhow, if you did send it to me, I'm sorry I didn't write your name down. Multiple officers responded, blocking the roadway in an area while they searched for a shooting suspect. So there was a shooting in this one area. People are like, what the fuck's going on? They locked it all down and everything. According to 2 maintenance workers repairing a broken window at an abandoned motel, a woman approached them wearing a bulletproof vest and carrying a handgun and told them that they need to leave the property while claiming she owned this hotel.
What?
The Reading Police Department said the woman, later identified as a 27-year-old lady named Jordan, accused the maintenance men of breaking into the abandoned building and threatened them with a gun. While the maintenance men tried explaining that they were hired to make repairs, this woman reportedly fired her handgun twice towards the highway, and then she told the maintenance worker she was going to leave and return with a rifle.
Oh my God.
What is the warning? I mean, like, this woman must be really racist, that's what I'm expecting.
Yeah, that's a little crazy.
Like, isn't it so sad that you could be so racist that you act so irrationally at just being so frightened of
The inner city blacks.
or whomever was there, and this one was so scared of them that she had to fire her gun as like a warning shot, like, stay back.
Yeah, that's
sad.
That's a little wild.
It's sad that she's so racist.
Never give a Karen a gun. It's
I'm
not a good
assuming
idea.
again that it was racism. So she then called the police, by the way, after she fired the shots to the highway. And she said that there were 2 men breaking into a nearby property.
Into a nearby property, not hers.
Right.
So she is a Karen with a handgun.
So police immediately responded to the home and took her into custody.
Good.
She spoke with detectives and told them she was wearing a bulletproof vest and was armed with a handgun while cleaning transient camps near her home when she saw what she thought were 2 men breaking into the abandoned motel. She told detectives she approached the men with her gun, trying to scare them off. When they didn't leave, she fired her gun twice and then ran away. A search warrant was ordered for her home, where they seized handguns, 2 rifles, and body armor. This woman walking around like fucking Grand Theft Auto. She's got body armor.
Yeah, that's a little
unbelievable.
intense.
And I was cleaning transient camps
with my bulletproof vest and my handgun.
You never know when one of these hobos is going to get out of line while I'm cleaning up their camps. How many hobos are in Reading, Pennsylvania? I feel like it's just a shanty town. Like, let the hobos. There are only like 3 demarcations beneath regular Reading, Pennsylvania mean income. I really feel so. They could come back. They can rebound in Reading, Pennsylvania. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's just a little intense. It's like at a certain point. I mean, maybe
we have
only
so many homeless
27
here.
too.
Yeah,
she should be out getting dick, not like firing guns towards the highway.
That's a great point.
I think that's why a lot of Karens exist. They're just not getting dick down enough.
And that's why
or legs down. I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend.
And that's why a lot of these Kyle Rittenhouse, he's probably getting his dick sucked now. Mm-hmm. But before he became Kyle Rittenhouse, he wasn't getting his dick sucked at all. And you can tell. If you're watching the news and you're like, that hardware store 2 states away, how dare they? You're not getting your dick sucked.
Yeah.
You're just not.
I know there's a lot of people in the world not getting their dick sucked right now, and that's where I come in.
Oh, and that's where I come in. Well, God bless you and your work. Tell everyone about your podcast one more time.
My podcast is the Totally Wholesome, Not Dirty Podcast.
Is that what you call it? Yeah. What did you name it now?
Yep, the Totally Wholesome,
because
Not
you
Dirty
kept the
Podcast.
initials.
That's right. So it used to be called The Whore Next Door.
You can say whore on this show.
Yeah, it used to be called The Whore Next Door, but Apple Podcast wouldn't let me on with whore in the title.
Which is wild, because I'm pretty sure there's other podcasts with like much worse words than whore.
I don't know, but it works. And then all the graphics that I paid someone to make, I get to keep because the acronym stays the same.
Oh my God, that's such a nightmare. I mean, we had a name change here on this show one time.
Mm-hmm.
We got it early, but hey, I get the problems.
Yeah, it
with
was like, hey, I'm only a couple months into this anyway, and it's a new year, so new year, new name. Let's do it.
New year, new name. I've got new shows coming out in the new year. Also, the Patreon link, if it's not active by the time this comes out, it will be in the coming, 2 days. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Hopefully it's out and it's in the description. There will be many a new podcast content on there. More immediate things.
Are you going to do those streams with your shoulder hair out?
It will be audio only. Because I already hate people looking at me in this thing. I feel I have to apologize for this, for my face. I'm sorry, folks.
Never apologize for being who you are, Josh.
I guess. But I will be coming hopefully to your city here in 2022. The ones that have been announced and are on sale now are January 23rd, Milwaukee Improv, the 30th, West Nyack Levity Live in New York, then on the 2nd of February, Pittsburgh Improv, and on the 3rd of February, the Raleigh Improv. And more cities will be announced shortly. I know there's been people that are like, why aren't you coming to this one? I will come to all of them. I'm working on it. And I will tell you the second the tickets go on sale. Other than that, thank you for subscribing. Please continue to do so. Please to be hitting the bell so you get the notifications on YouTube if you listen over there. Subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes. And we will see you next Tuesday on The Josh Potter Show.